Navi 5 starts coming out that I don't
Yeah,
know if Navi can sustain through it all.
exactly. And this is like Eye of the Storm with a TA coming in afterwards. That's scary, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I, I'm not happy thinking about that.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, you might dive onto the egg, you might be able to break the supernova, but while you're doing this, we're going to be cleaning up everybody else on your team. You know, we're going to be able to put the
Mhm.
pressure on, and it's a lot, I think, in the fights that Navi have to watch out for, that you don't want to really be getting these early BKBs up, and they don't fully help either.
No, they don't fully help, and I'm looking at, okay, normally when you're at a disadvantage like that versus an enemy hero, you have the Kunkka, right? You pop the water park and everything, but the problem with the Razor is that you just turn on the Eye of the Storm, and he's happy to stand in the middle and get sloshed around a little bit.
And
The damage and the minus armor are already happening.
yeah.
And they get to reposition with the center. Oh, I'm not feeling it for Navi, Rob.
No,
Those are by extension of being on Zayat's team, my boys. Don't know any of them. They're my boys now.
I'm sure they're nice enough boys, but yeah, it's...
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't believe. And maybe this is like the biggest caster curse I've ever dropped. And they're just gonna like 15-minute run over Klim Sani4 with no issues. But for me, I'm looking at the lineup of Klim and I'm just thinking the way they've been playing as well, how aggressive they get, how much they like to just run at you. That Navi might have a hard time keeping up with all this early aggression.
Yep, and it ticks all of their boxes, right? They've got the low cooldowns, they've got the damage just based on levels, basically, like their heroes individually are just going to put that damage out. They don't have to do any fancy moves or any fancy tricks in order to win the fights. They just have to stand there and press their spells. Whereas for Navi, once again, they have options, right? We can see toss backs and toss ins. We can see very clever cookies up and down high grounds. The same with the hops. The same with the tidal waves back and forth. They have a lot of options, but options versus raw damage didn't do the trick for them last time around. And now,
Oh, Nefrit, no, you don't face check stirs this early on. Nefrit going to be chased down one more. I think the blood grenade was enough to get it out anyway. And yeah, they are going to be able to get the first blood on the board. It is going to be Respect that picks it up. So not quite that mid lane, first item bottle that you do like to see if it's on your team at least.
no.
But yeah, it's a really good early pickup here, and it just sets the tone here for Klim Sani4, I think, coming out.
Absolutely, and I have to say it here, Rob. I think I love your accent, and the way you said stirs there was just full of despair. It was lovely.
See, this is the thing. I'm just saying it normal stirs. It's like people get on for me for like burr and people that are scared, and like it's just
no, but it things
um,
makes me feel things. So thanks for that. That was fun.
well,
And now we've got Nefrit's made it to the lane, but yeah, this is exactly this is a double ranged lane to go up against for Zayat. That's not fun.
no.
He is just going to be copying so much damage, and the way that Tiny contributes to this lanes as well.
I mean, he got the block off, he got the camp block, but yeah, okay, and a courier. And now Phoenix is just gonna go, well, fuck you then. We're gonna, I'm gonna put as much harass on you as possible, just chase you out of the lane.
Yeah, that's the price you pay. He yeets the Christmas tree at an innocent animal.
We've all been there one time or the other, you know. You work in retail and Christmas songs start getting on your nerves. Christmas trees just start flying.
True. But did they have like any traditions for getting rid of the Christmas trees where you live?
They're all fake and they go in your loft until next year.
Okay, I see. As in the Netherlands, the real tree is definitely still like a status symbol, sort of. And of course, it's very necessary to get a real tree because otherwise you can't build like the bonfires around New Year's.
Ah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. See, oh, they do get the kill onto Zayat here as well, and yeah, Nefrit gets pushed back, but. Yeah, in the UK, we used to get the real trees, and then like all you'd be left with all like the needles at the very end.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's like it's just a pain. So we just get like the glitter trees and stuff like that now. That's just pre-made. I mean, all trees are pre-made, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, not by nature. But I think this is going to be Zayt's life. Like, he's gonna walk up, he's going to cop a ton of damage. Either he gets something done before he dies, or he doesn't. That's
And it doesn't get easier when the sun rays start to come out as well, and you've still got the fiery spirits and the Icarus dives, and yeah, this is it ain't great, mate, for him.
Absolutely not. I'm looking at the mid lane where the creep waves are currently in curious positions.
Yeah.
I guess Melojul was just on his way to pick up a rune and didn't give it. It's a little late for that. I'm confused.
I would like to blame our observer, but I'm the observer, so and we all know I'm faultless. And yeah, I don't know. I guess he just decided to swap lanes for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're just like, he's been looking at that face for over an hour now. Maybe he's wanted a change of
change of scenery, yeah.
Yeah.
So, alright, so you're gonna be able to get the pull coming through as well. Munkushi level 3, holding that point. How useful is the storm surge? You know, to get the chance the chance of the strike as well in the laning stage.
In the laning stage, like, unless you have like an enemy range support who really got it out for you, I don't really see a reason to ever pick it up.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, just wondering why he was holding the point, but he's going to go for the second point in the static link here. So, having the stack up here, respect. Going to be chased down. Static link does come through. Icarus dive now as well. The avalanche, it does slow and stop the Razor. So, Zayats, that might just be his job now for the next 5-10 minutes. He's an avalanche. He's a walking avalanche.
Yep. And he seems to understand that very well.
Yeah.
So, good intervention there. And that does mean that as long as the Phoenix and the Razor don't get to harass Nefrit out, they definitely don't get to kill. They will always be stopped in their tracks.
Cloud taking some harass out here as well. Just in the bottom lane, just watching this Ursa, yeah. So, I mean, the build-up has changed for the off-lane Centaur, which might be to his detriment a little bit in this particular lane against the Ursa. There is no more Vanguards, there is no more Hearts, it is just the, you know, into the Veil. Everybody wants Veil into Shivas.
Yeah, it's quite wild, but sometimes the best items are just the best items. And yeah, it's a little bit to his detriment, but on the other hand, the Helm of Iron Will is just fantastic value for money still. And once he's to that helm, his lane feels really good, even if he's up first in Ursa. He just has to keep the movement speed advantage up.
Well, crack out your T-Tors. That's the first kill I missed of this game. And let's say it's gonna be the only kill. Chira Jr. getting the tips from this now as well from his teammates. Okay, okay. I like this. You use them in a positive manner. You know, you're not tipping the enemy for getting caught out. You're saying, teammate, well done for that. So it's gonna try and go for the TP. Do they have the damage to take him away first? No, they don't. So he will be able to get himself back to the fountain.
Yeah, you sound suspiciously like not a competitor.
It's just, you know, you want everyone to have...
Your teammates playing well is just doing their job. Anything less is a boo.
It's a report. You give them the grief and send them to Overwatch.
Obviously, the amount of people that I've like watched, so I'm like, man, he's just incompetent. Get over yourself. This is not personal.
Yeah, and rotation coming in for Sweden Strong. They might be able to set up, and this is just because of respect here now as well, Melojul, and they might be able to repay these tips. Chira Jr. coming forward, but can they get in range of the Earth Spike? And Melojul, he is hanging back. You know, he's not overcommitting here. Trap comes out, though. Melojul, the dive comes in. There's the Earth Spike. The mana drain just for the cherry on top. And respect, he is going to get the kill, and Kunkka once again going to go down. And it doesn't seem like either side, from the side of Navi and the side lanes, looking to put pressure on with these supports being missing.
Yeah, it's just, they've been doing this the entire time. They don't care that Navi knows that it's coming.
Munkushi might actually go down here, so good rotation coming out from Malady. Sets up Nefrit, does get the kill. So that was a little bit of delay, but the revenge is there in the end.
The revenge is there, indeed. And Shigetsu now with the phase boots up. Cloud, yeah. You see, he's also gone for the phase boots first instead of for the Helm of Iron Will. He knows it's more important to have movement speed in this lane than it is to have the armor. So he's going to be able to keep that up. And two of them altogether pretty happy with his laning stage, while the other two have been brawling. Sweden Strong, respect, already trying to cut behind the top lane again. They are successful.
Nefrit slowed down, hexed up, and even... Do they have the damage to take him down? I think that might be enough. No, maybe not. They have the double Spirit Siphon coming out here. Nefrit trying to run himself away. The Plasma Field will be here behind the trees. Static Link will be applied, and Munkushi in the end. So it took him a little bit longer than he would have liked, taking some tower shots as well, but he will be able to get the kill. Now, while that was going on, Malady was able to sneak in and stop the Centaur from taking the Wisdom Rune, so this time in here was fairly nice for the side of Na'Vi. Well, maybe not the death, but just to get that rune out.
Exactly. You know where both of the supports are. You know that they're not going to be on the rune. Zayas was very clearly choosing not to help Nefrit over just picking up that rune immediately. Like, nope.
Agreed.
No, I know what's important here.
Yeah, and
I like to think Nefrit agrees.
Take a look at the hero levels as well. I can't see the full... Hang on, let me bring the full thing up. Yeah, no, they were lowest level, so it's not like it went to a core either there as well. They did benefit from both of those Wisdom Runes on the supports. And now Munkushi, half health. Blood Grenade comes in, little shudder, the toss up into the air. And Munkushi once again, Maldy using this Twin Gate to great effect.
There's a lot of damage on those two supports together, especially right now with a little bit of levels over on the side. Malady's gone full on in on the little shredder as well, so that's going to be physical damage coming in. Once again, any Mage Slayers coming up not going to hurt him and in the damage department. And in fact, Mage Slayer will be building up on the Razor, of course.
And how much do you like this? The carries build, and I suppose that you already have the standard build up for the TA and Centaur. It's not an item he particularly wants.
No, absolutely not. No, it's quite great for the Razor. You're a ranged hero, which means that you get to hit several different heroes if you want to keep that debuff up in service of your team. And you're not the main damage dealer on this squad anyway. You're here to tank, and bringing that debuff out makes you tankier.
And it looks like they are going to be able to get the tier 1 tower. Exorcism used for Nefrit to make sure they secure it. But yeah, Munkushi's already moved himself into the jungle. You know, he's not overcommitting here. And they are going to be able to trade off that tier 1 top for... Which is, I think the tier 1 tower mid is a little bit more important after the laning stage.
I'm going to disagree with you on that one, because I think that actually the middle of the map is not the geographical middle. The map is a donut, if you will.
Right.
The middle of the map is actually at the Roshan pit.
Okay, I kind of follow that, and we are going to be able to follow Munkushi though. Does he survive through this one? Respect, only level 4, no supernova. They might be able to get the kill onto these two heroes before that one even needs to be happening. Yeah, they take down Munkushi. It was a triple kill. I didn't even see Zayats die.
No, there were a lot of lightning bolts flying around, and I'm really... I guess they were trying to answer in kind, like, okay, fine, we have damage, we're just going to run at somebody and dive them, but you really gotta do your damage calculation correctly for that.
He died to the tower. He died to the tower, and there was a storm surge at the very end that did 28 damage that secured the kill. Oh, okay, so yeah, there was a reason I didn't see it, and that was because it was he was running off in the complete opposite direction, taking tower shots.
Trying to do the Delta split. Got the Veil up on the Centaur. Got the full Cornucopia over on Shigetsu. Very annoyed that the Cornucopia is not a horn. Here's Hermione with her Latin again, but Cornus is a horn. Copius is a lot. It's the horn of plenty. Where's the horn?
Is it the horn of plenty, or is it just a lot of horns? Like, would you be as disappointed if the icon was just like, just like say like a load of horns?
It's just a load of horns. I mean, that would be like, I could see that as a joke, right? Because then somebody at least understood what they were naming the thing. Like, it's Latin is not just like, you know, oh, it's Latin so it's wizardy. Like, that's the J.K. Rowling way of doing things. Like, these words mean things.
Yeah, but
I'm a nerd.
Do they actually mean things? Because as far as I know, Latin is a dead language. So if it's a dead language, do the words actually mean anything?
I think yes. Like, do you know what a corniche is, for example?
It's a pasty.
No. It's a horn-shaped ice formation. Anyway, I'll shut up now.
Okay. Melodule coming in.
Fight on top.
X marks the spot coming into this one. Yeah, there is going to be the X mark. Drive back into the boat, though. They have that Earth Spike really well played onto Melodule. Melodule not going to be able to get the kill. Now the chase down Munkushi is going to be able to get that static link onto Zayats. Zayats chased down. Little shot it onto Chira Jr. Going to be able to take away these charges on the refraction. And they do get the kill onto Chira now. Do they want to carry on chasing onto this one? Because Razor, he has popped that Eye of the Storm, trying to move himself away. He has a little bubble as well. So he's got that extra little bit of HP. TP away. Do they have the vision? Do they see him? No, they complete on the TP. And the Razor will be away.
That feels pretty bad if you're Navi. You're using the exorcism there in order to... What you get the TA kill, which slowing her down is the most important thing to do right now. But you're not actually getting anything in return, and especially because it was on the top side of the map. You would have loved to get a kill and then immediately move into mid tower.
Yeah.
Said you get nothing, and now they're going to slap you back immediately.
If it was 3 minutes in the future, they could have even moved into the Roche pit with that amount of control they had there, taking that away. But it looks like Klim Sanic going to clap back almost immediately here, getting onto Munkushi. Blood Grenade comes in, slowing down into Meljul. He does have those phase boots, going to be able to run himself away. Silence onto 3 heroes coming through from Nefrit. Really nicely played there, and it looks like this aggression coming out from Klim Sanic not going to be paying off, but the ward is still down. I mean, I think we saw the Death Prophet move up here, but not going to be chasing into this one. Meljul and Nefrit still grouping up, just trying to take away this ancient stack before it gets spotted out.
Yeah, best case scenario for Navi, I think, is that could have been a direct hook back to the face, but
yeah,
good dodge. And also Shigetsu could not be bothered to actually show up to that, so he's been farming and he brings in the Battle Fury right now. So his damage levels and his farm levels are both through the roof right now, going immediately into the Blink Dagger. He is going to be ready to start contributing. And
see, look, the cornucopia in the end, the two blades of the axe, they look like haunts, right? So...
yeah, a little. I thought we were in agreement that we were going to let this go.
No. I'm going to keep coming back to this. See, this is why I don't tell my co-casters anything about myself, so there's nothing they can use against me here.
Oh, I tried to give them a lot of ammo so that they feel sort of sorry, and they're like, man, these are just pot shots. Why am I taking pot shots at this woman who has been bullied all her life for being a giant nerd?
Speaking about pot shots, they're going to be able to take a quick one against Swedenstrong. He will go down. Cookie comes out. Can they get themselves on top of Cloud now? But the rotation comes in from Munkushi. He's going to be able to drain this damage away. And look at how low Shigetsu's going. Shigetsu will fall. Munkushi trying to get himself away from the Spirit Siphon now as well. The egg will break, and it looks like Malady getting that kill into Cloud. Does he want to carry on chasing here? Backlines... do they have a Sunray to come in? They do, but it's not going to be close enough here. So Munkushi, he just has to hoof it away from this one. The Cookie now trying to close that gap. Nefrit and Munkushi, he is a really fast hero. Not going to be able to close the gap. Plasma Field slows down onto Nefrit. Nefrit not going to be able to catch up. Last Exorcism Ghost, they don't connect here. And now he might be out of position. They are going to be able to get the kill onto the Phoenix. And it might be Maldy's turn to go down the finger. It gets thrown out mid-animation, though. Cancelled off. Earth Spike, not going to be enough damage here. Maldy. Raindrop is on cooldown, but it looks like they're going to be able to get the kill on Chira Jr. Chira Jr. with the right click, though. He gets the refraction charges. He gets the kill onto Malady. Regen rune, it pops up. It's going to get a little bit from that now as well. The toss in. Nefrit, can they get the return kill onto this one? Chira Jr. gets the blink away, and Nefrit, he will fall. Thrown in by Tiny Airways, and that is going to cost him his life here. Might even cost Tiny his life from that there as well.
Oh, rip. There were so many things for Navi there that just didn't go quite right. And it was very close as well. Like, you get 2 more hits into... from the ghosts on Munkushi, he's dead. You actually get that toss-off before Kira Jr. jumps away. You probably get his kill, and you might even get out with at least one of the heroes that you were fighting with there. But instead, you get neither kill, and both of you die.
Yeah, and the fact that he had a regen rune waiting there as well. Blink, pops it, blinks himself away. He was able to get a lot of health back, reset, come back into the fight, and that was just disgusting.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we've got Meljul in, like, he felt like a punching bag in the previous game, but this game he says, like, I don't even want to get hit anymore. I don't want to buy that blade mail. He's just going straight for the agonyms.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? That if he is getting close to use that blade mail, he's not going to be able to output any damage with the Tidebringer because it's all being taken away by the static link.
Exactly. It's poverty time for him.
It's rough, and yeah, taking a look at the net worth, we can see he's right at the very bottom of the cause.
Yeah, they're going to have to start leveraging Shigetsu soon. The problem is, of course, in the previous fight, he had already used the Enrage to get the quick kill on the Lion. and that meant that he just immediately melted when he found himself face to face with the Razor.
Yeah, you look at the comparison between the two safe laners. In fact, it looks like Klim are going to try and sneak this Roshan before Shigetsu gets any ideas of going for it himself. Or maybe not. Okay, it looks like they were making a beeline towards it. They scan it out, but yeah, okay, they stop. They don't want to give it up. Speed up. Shigetsu just has to move himself away.
Yeah, and you're definitely correct that this is going to be the next stop for the train of both teams here. You would really rather, I think, catch Klim in the pit than anything else if you're Na'Vi. I don't think you want to go for it first. Because if you go for it first and they come in with a good egg, you're done for.
Yeah.
You need to be able to see your targets. And of course, depending on the egg placement, you might never get to see it, which is still ridiculous. But what can you do? Roshan Pits is made of... is built different.
Yeah, it's just... I mean, to be honest, if I was, you know, having to travel at night as well, I'd want blackout blinds on my little pit as well.
Yeah, you should come to Finland. We have those because the sun doesn't set for a while in summer.
That sounds like an absolute nightmare.
It's quite something to be done with like casting 3 series of SA and it just never got dark, really.
See, yeah, that sounds like a good problem to have, but it still sounds like a problem. Like, we have the opposite problem over here in Britain where it goes dark. Like, you wake up, you get out 9 o'clock in the morning, it's dark. You know, you finish, or I finish casting at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's still dark. So, okay, maybe that wouldn't actually be a bad thing if it was light for a little bit. Jump in now, Zayats. This might be a bad thing for him. The finger comes out now as well as the Earth Spike, and the right-clicks Chira. Going to be able to pick up the kill. Really well done. That's not even his Deso just yet. He's going to be about 1,000 gold away, but he is still stacking the net worth up and up and up and up and up.
Is, and once again, not really a way for Na'Vi to get too much out of it. I guess there's some damage done on his bottom tower, but I think Baladi is getting really tired of being the POS 5 and sneaking over to get some hotshots in at a tower, because he always gets punished and never gets tower.
Yeah, he's not even going to be able to cookie away from the static link now as well. The stun does come out, but the Razor going to carry on chasing after that stun was off, and Malady just falls. Great timing setup there for Sweden Strong to be able to get the jump, and yes, setup for Munkushi's TP in, and no way for Malady to get himself out alive.
At least the tower did fall there, so that's a little bit more breathing room. That's a little bit more distance between the TP points of Klim and the Roshan pit.
And respect Hazzy Yules, and Melojule's going to figure that out the hard way. You know, trying to come in, X Mark, Torrent, and he Yuleses himself, and no drag back, no bird.
I mean, we already said that Melojule was having a bad one. He doesn't really feel like he can do anything, so at least he bought himself the Aghanim Scepter, but now with the Yules up, his X marks are going to feel even more puny.
Yeah, at least I think it looks like Na'Vi going to try and set up around the Roche pit, and Klim might respond to this. But yeah, you do have now with the Torrent Storm coming through, like you say, just a way to lock heroes down inside and around the pit. So this might be Na'Vi, a good fight for them if they can take it. All of their ultimates are up.
It's so scary though. You are 5k down, you are up versus a whole second core over on the enemy side when you really are only playing with one. Their position needs to be very good for this one.
Yeah,
Zayats breaks the smoke.
He is going to break that, and they might get the vision. They back themselves out of the pit. They don't want to be caught out, like you said, Supernova. Stomp does a Centaur of the Blink, he does. Has a Yule Scepter of his own here as well. So the Blink into the Stomp, into the Supernova. It is a team ruining set of skills here. So Na'Vi do just back themselves away.
Zayats wants to go around, but they're waiting for the right time.
Trap comes out. Ooh, gets the pop. So they know roughly at least where Zayats is.
Another smoke. They're going to run into each other.
Yeah, they come through onto this one. The plasma field, they connect onto Zayats. Zayats, he's got that little hop away. Is he going to be able to get himself away fully, though? The damage coming through. Look at this. He might just be deleted. One more right click. They do take down Zayats in the end, but they take down too. Shigetsu with a dive in. Going to get himself out. Boat comes out. Sweden Strong, though. He has that magic immunity only for a little bit while he's getting these drains off. He will fall. This is a great fight for Na'Vi. Munkushi trying to run himself away, and only on about a third of his health. So, yeah, he just has to give this one up, and I think they have to give up the full Roche as well.
Yeah, I think that that's going to go down now. They don't have the TP point close, as was said before. There's still a little bit of that exorcism going into the Roche as well, so this is going to go down really fast. And this is what the Death of Zayat does for them. That overextends 2 cores on top of each other onto just a support, and it gives all of the vision in the world for Navi to react in the way that they want to.
Yeah, and like I say, yeah, they're using all of that control onto Zayat, and Shigetsu just wanders in and goes, "Thank you very much." And it was, yeah, the start of the fight, a double kill for him. Really good start, and then Klim Sani4 just couldn't keep up after that.
Absolutely not, and that is what burst damage versus burst damage looks like often. One of the teams gets the better jump, and the other one has absolutely no reason to go back in.
And Shigetsu was able to get his Tiny the Shard as well, so not sure if that was the hero that he wanted it on or his teammates wanted it on, but being able to solo the Tormentor, never a bad thing. You know, you get that now, 22 minutes, so in 10 more minutes, if there is shards to be had, they will be able to stack up more if they want to.
Yep. Zayat is going to be all treed up now. So
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm not going to do that much for him just yet, but if he eventually wants to scale a little bit, he's going to be happy he's got it.
Yeah, and do you see Zayat, because he's already got the Blink Dagger, you know, what do you want as a position 4 on this Tiny? Would you maybe opt to go straight into, like, the Aghanim Scepter, or is there anything else you think he should be building into?
Honestly, versus this team, I think you should have a 4-staff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, the dream of being a DPS here, I think is throwing. You have 3 cores who are going to scale very well if they can get the farm up, but in order to live, they need good positioning.
Damn, so no AC, no Moonshards coming out here, no Butterfly position 4 Tiny?
No, sir.
Okay. How are we looking? The rest of the items. Daedalus.
We're gonna see. It wouldn't be the first time Zayat disagreed with me.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what he's going to queue up. He's got nothing queued up just yet, and maybe the utility is the best way to go for this one. Zayat, as well as Shigetsu, are going to look for the smoke, though. And again, Age is still available for the next 3 minutes, so we'll see if this is going to be a good pickoff. Meanwhile, how's it looking for the Razor here? Munkushi, item-wise, just wants to go in towards that Manta style.
Every so often I look at Melojule and I'm like, oh man, still nothing.
He's got his axe. He's going towards the BKB. Yeah. It's fine.
Oh, the man's just suffering. And I feel for him. But yeah, that BKB coming up, Death Prophet BKB coming up. She's got the Shiva's guard for a while now already.
And yeah, the full BKB will be flowing out to the Death Prophet. Lion waiting in the wings here on the cliff. And we'll see if he's going to try and make a jump in again. I don't know how comfortable Klim Sani4 feel about this one. Ghost is going to be able to solo this other Tormentor as well, because he does still have this Aegis for 2 minutes.
And that is a nice little cookie upgrade. Formality.
Yeah. And the impact damage is nice as well. Just having that Multiple Kiss, you know, if anyone stood inside of it, it will help deal with the TA a little bit quicker now as well. Dive in, Munkushi. They might want to protect this tier 2 tower. The static link is broken immediately by the jump away here. She gets in back lines. Well, the Avalanche isn't going to connect onto the Phoenix.
And that is BKB delivered for the Death Prophet just now. They will continue positioning and posturing here, I think. I don't see a reason for Navi to back off just yet. 1.5 minutes. It is sort of scary. They're not gonna risk getting held up at the wrong side of the map here, which is a shame. It does mean that ultimately they don't get anything out of that Aegis, but at the same time, it's a correct read. They know that Klim Sani4 is hanging around there like, come on, just stay. Overstay.
Oh, Zayat jumps in, he gets silenced out. Next trap comes out now as well for the slow, but there is going to be silence coming out for Nefret. No follow-up here onto Zayat. He does lose about half of his health, though, so big jump in. That was just the TA, you know, put the fear of God into Zayat. Just saying, respect the power that I put out. Because I can get you anywhere.
He's not wrong either, and You can see Na'Vi puzzling out how they are going to get towers here, because they know that the power of their fight especially is on the reactive side, but so is Klim Sani4 at this point. There's an initiation.
Jump in, and we'll see if it's going to be the Burr or the Lion that comes out on top of this one. The right clicks now as well, sweet and strong with, again, the magic immunity that she gets, who was just able to right click and down, and all the plate mails in the world won't save the Lion from the Ursa Burr.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And that will get you the tower now, but they really had to figure that out for a little bit. And they also had to group on top of that Lion. If Sani4 was in a different position, that could have still been a bad fight.
Yeah, they did get that ward down literally just before they're getting the pick on. Stomp, it's not going to connect it. She gets to. Does he get himself away? He's going to be slowed down. Yule Scepter comes out, or some protection. Yeah, Yule Scepter just to try and keep him locked down for a little bit longer here. But the static link, it's going to be going. Munkushi has the BKB. She gets to. Taking a lot of damage to Plasma Field to slow him down. Backlines, he might be able to get the kill onto the Centaur. But can he actually get the kill onto the Shigetsu? Because Shigetsu running himself away from this one. And now Nefrit chasing down onto. It looks like Melody's going to be the one that goes down next. And now Death Prophet Finger comes through. They do clean up that kill. Can they go into Zayat's sides? There will be the wave coming through. But Zayat's in the trees TPs himself away. And I like that the Kunk is like, I'm in danger here, Zayats, you take the aggro.
Yeah, listen, he's a support man. Like, you just shove him in front of the train, watch him go splat.
Yeah.
They should be glad for the opportunity.
He should be thanking his teammates for letting him be involved in these fights, yeah. Overall, 2 for 2. The offlaner as well as the support for an offlaner as a support, but you did force out another BKB charge on the Razor, you know, down to 7 seconds on that now. Ursa, he's used his now as well, down to 8 seconds, so who really came out on top on that fight?
I'm not sure. I mostly saw that as an illustration of why Zayats really needs a Force Staff. Like,
Fair enough,
that
yeah.
Ursa is running around forever with that link on him, and if you have a Force Staff, you just snap it, Ursa turns around, makes pancake mix out of the Razor.
Yeah, and it's, yeah, maybe that's why. Well, actually, what does he have coming out on the courier? It's gonna be, it's just gonna be his tier 3. Okay.
Yeah, and he's buying Yules next, which is fair enough, I guess, but yeah. Malady? No, Malady is buying more auras.
Yeah.
No, I'm, repositioning, my dudes. Repositioning is one of the most powerful abilities in the entire game. It's the reason why Pudge is still a thing. We would all like Pudge not to be a thing, but he has the best forced repositioning tool in the game, and that's why he's a thing.
Yeah, that's why he's a thing. No, yeah, it's fair enough. Even in my low-level pubs, the hook is the major draw to Pudge, and not just so they can say, oh, I'm playing the support, and throw the, you know, sit in the trees and do nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not mad.
I mean, I was... Listen, man, I'm never talking about pubs. When you hear me, I don't watch pubs, I don't play pubs. Those are other people's problems.
Yeah, specifically mine.
Yes. Sucks to be you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I get to talk about video games for a living, so it's not all bad.
They pay you a living?
They pay me.
That they do. That they do.
And yeah, so you see the Zayats move around. It isn't going to be, like you said, that 4 stuff. It is going to be the Yules to come out for him. Malady, Guardian's Greaves, which I don't mind. He's got that gem on deck as well. That's going to be fairly nice. I wonder, I mean, Roshan, we know it's 2 minutes away, but the teams don't know it's 2 minutes away. So they are starting to gather up around the bottom part of the map here. I wonder if Klim try and contest this one. They don't feel safe. Couldn't feel safe going through a twin gate. You don't want to face check that, but... whether they, you know, have those timings down as well, and maybe thinking that they should start to move towards the bottom part of the map.
Yeah, you could see Navi there really hoping that somebody would face check. It's like, it could be up, guys. It could be. And the wave situation is fairly nice for Navi right now, so they get to do this. Of course, that does mean that it's fairly easy to read for Klim Sani4 where their enemies are at right now.
Yeah, and Klim still have a minute and a half as well before the rush is back up. He's back in his summer home. So it's not going to be an immediate... Well, I mean, again, they don't know it's not an immediate threat, but they're taking the time moving over. In fact, I don't even know if they want to contest this.
It's rough. I feel like they really haven't gotten a good supernova in a while.
Yeah.
Their team fights have looked a little like they can't quite get the positioning they want. Sweet and Strong has been the first to be picked off a lot of times. They are definitely just trying to make the most out of farming right now and not out of contesting the Ursa at what is one of like the, I want to say, the heights of his power. Sure, Ursa he still scales deeper into the late game, but this point, like the fresh Basher, still a long duration BKB at like 30 minutes, that's where he collapses.
Yeah, and it's going to be the BKB coming up for the TA as well, so not even going into you know any more damage items after the Daedalus, just extra protection. And yeah, no, I mean, I think Klim Sanic, they can feel like they got their worth out of this. Roshan is just coming up in 15 seconds, and now they will be able to contest. And they've taken down a tier 2 tower on the top lane, so they did get something from that without being rushed to try and contest this Roshan.
Yeah, they gambled and they won. Roche going to respawn right now. And to Navi's credit, right, their doorbell was ringing really insistently on the top lane. Please defend, please defend. They did not blink this time. And that means they still get to hold position. Yeah. Now that the contest for the Roche is coming.
We are going to see Munkushi pushing out, using one of the illusions here as well. But Na'Vi, they aren't holding around the high ground around that Roche pit either. The Twin Gate, they are holding back towards their outpost. And we'll see if the contest comes in. And again, if they win this fight, like you said, it's a hard read for Klim to get back into this one. They have to TP to the outpost on the top, then come through Twin Gates. And it might not be worth it if they start to lose heroes. So this might be, if they can get it, a good fight, Na'Vi, another free Roshan for them.
Yeah, Zayats once again, same smoke breaking position. They're not even smoking this time. Trap.
No.
Got some
Jumped.
fingers.
In. Okay, Cloud, he does get the watch here now. Yulceptor comes out, stops him being dragged back onto the X mark, but I think Klim know that they need to get themselves in there. Roshan, look at this. Ursa, she gets who's just ripping away. Avalanche comes out, backlines, go what they can do. Torrent Storm's going to be used here. Shiva's Guard comes out now as well. But, oh, respect on the backlines. He does get the Supernova off, and Zayats, he's not the quickest hitter in the world. She gets it, though. He does get the Aegis. They are going to be able to get the kill onto Respect, but immediately Zayats goes down onto this one. Nefrit could be in a little bit of trouble. The Static Link comes through. They do get the kill onto the Death Prophet. Damage coming through onto Meljewel now as well. He's got that BKB going. She gets it, though. He's going to be able to clean up onto Chira Jr., and what else can he get from this one? Cloud trying to run himself away, but do they have the control? Can they burst this Aegis immediately? They are going to be able to take it down. 3 heroes dead. Can they get the Ursa the second time now as well? Backlines, you've got the Cookie waiting coming out from the Snapfire now as well. Yulceptor is going to be used. And do they get the damage out? Stomp. Enrage will be used. Cookie. It gets him down and away from the rest of the team. But now the Static Link does come through. Never mind the Avalanche to stun up. And Zayats, he might just be that sacrificial lamb that gets the Ursa out alive. This isn't a bad fight here for the side of Klim Sandwich. They're even going to be able to go onto Snapfire. Snapfire. Well, Munkushi chasing down. They get the kill onto Zayats, and Cloud falls up onto Malady. And only the Ursa Bird. In fact, I can't even say the Ursa Bird gets out alive there, because he did get the Aegis being popped.
That's really not how Navi envisioned that one going, even though the start was pretty much completely correct. Like, they didn't want to have to immediately pop the exorcism, but the egg's not good enough. That one gets killed off pretty much immediately by the rapid fire of the Snapfire. Yeah. You get the Ursa onto the targets in the middle of the fight there. I think the biggest problem is honestly the fact that you've already used a water park, I want to say. Like, if you still have the water park at the time that Nefrit walks back out of the pit, I think Nefrit might actually live, and you're looking at a very different fight. But as it is, he just has to stand in the middle and tank everything, and as tanky as he is, it's 3 heroes wailing on him like that, that was just never going to happen.
Yeah, and yeah, no, like you said, the fact that they had to use the water park defensively to stop the initial initiation. I mean, they do still get the kill onto TA, so they get something out of this, but you effectively got team wiped there. You know, you lose the Aegis as it comes up. I suppose you do still have the Roche banner, you know, nice little souvenir, but yeah, not the fight that Navi wanted.
No, absolutely not, and that really puts them back into this weird farming mode where both teams are weighing their options against each other, like who scales better. And the big items from the supports are now starting to be saved up for, so there will be a Hex on his Phoenix relatively soon, actually. Already got the money for the Mystic Staff in his pocket.
And he's already, he bought back, I do believe, in that last fight as well, so he can just buy out here. Butterfly up for the Razor. I think she gets who already has his MKB. It's a little bit of gold away. It's a couple of creeps away, but he will have the MKB answer for Munkushi's Butterfly. But the rest of the team, it might be a little bit rougher, and just means that Munkushi, more survivability in his back pocket.
And the longer this game goes, the more Navi is going to start feeling the hurt of the fact that they are really just a solo core lineup versus the dual core. The different sources of damage, and the doorbell's getting rang again. Well, actually, they're kicking in the door.
Yeah, no fortification. It will come out now for the racks after that tier 3 tower goes down, but no fortification for that tier 3 tower, and it does force some of Navi back. And Klim Sani4, they're happy to play the push-pull here. You know, take the tier 3 tower, back yourself away, don't overcommit, and don't give anything away.
I don't want to say that Klim Sani4 have the advantage on pushing the waves again. Like, they do need to show their course in order to do that. But at the same time, for Navi, they're not the fastest either. It's mostly Melojule that needs to do all of that work. He's working on a Hex as well, getting pretty soon.
Yeah, and it's still gonna be it is gonna be a nice item, especially up against the TA. You know, be able to throw that out, or maybe you know, slow down the Razor. But with the BKBs, what actually down to 6 seconds here. Chira Jr., was that a fresh one? He's got 8 seconds left on that. So there's still a window of control that Klim Sani4 will be able to stop themselves from being controlled.
Yep. Well, at the very least, Navi is the team with the Basher.
Yeah.
That always feels...
that feels good.
And just one Basher and it's yours. First BKBs, it's you gotta take what you can get. But yeah, the fact that this TA is going to go for... Sorry, my voice is giving up on me here.
That's okay.
Is got the nullifier in the works. Is going to be very powerful. Maybe that's why ultimately they decided on not getting any 4 staffs. Like, oh, there's going to be a nullifier eventually. But
yeah,
we will have to see.
And yeah, we'll see how Navi want to play this as well. Whether, I mean, again, they have that fortification up, so they could go towards the tier 3. Are they going to try and take the Tormentor? The Tormentor is back up here as well, so they could make a move, try and steal this away from the side of Klim Sani4. But it looks like Klim Sani4 just making a beeline to that open racks.
Yeah, and they are going to push it down so fast. At the very least, that Tormentor went down really fast as well, but you're kind of late on the jump here. Melojule immediately gets caught.
Yeah, this BKB will be coming out. Melojule, though, is he going to go down? Chira Jr. gets it with the right clicks in the air. No way to disconnect those. And they get that kill onto the Kunkka and back it out. They've, did he get a Rax out of this? He didn't. They got half damage onto the range Rax, but still, you get a Kunkka. You force the TPs from Navi back to base, and then you just leave. That's such a good... you know, Klim Sani4 not overcommitting. They know where to get in and out, and they're going to be happy with that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's such a good win, especially the fact that you get the Exorcism out there as well. That's huge. No way Navi is going to make any aggressive moves without that up right now, because they will not be able to actually follow up on anything.
No.
They...
And we can see that Cloud, you know, he is leading the line here with Sweden Strong. Sweden Strong waiting for somebody to come in to defend this tier 2 tower as Munkushi Cookie comes out. Okay, so they're just going to clear it at a distance. Munkushi, with this next creep wave, they can start into this tier 2 tower now as well. No Kunkka. In fact, they're not even going to wait for the next creep wave. Look at this, Chira Jr. just going for the right clicks at a distance outside the tower range. That's a little bit gross.
It is a little bit. You know, when Dragonlance first came out, I was like, this is...
And everyone was building
nuts.
it. Yeah, like you had Gyro Dragonlance coming out, and you had, I mean, Sniper still builds the Dragonlance, but yeah, literally everyone was building it.
And it's still nuts. Like, being able to change range is... I mean, it's one of the reasons why I love this game, right? Like, you draft yourself into a certain corner, and then if you're clever enough, you can just itemize yourself out of it. There's so many options.
Yeah, Kunkka, is this his full Hex? What's he... No, okay. But he does... He's just waiting on the gold, it looks like, for the Tiara, I think.
Just quietly... sits in there waiting on it.
Yeah, Nefrit jumps in, trying to clear this wave. It's going to give them a bit of a signpost here, Klim Sani4, where Navi are. Even if there is a smoke, you know, you can't miss that massive Shiva's Guard aura coming
they've got
through.
the Kunkka.
Did they get the jump on him? Oh, he's away. But he's not on very high health here, so we'll see. Was that a finger? There was a finger being used now as well. High ground, Shigetsu. He's just going to go for the TP. Nothing to stop this one, but it is going to be another BKB charge. And the TP away by the Ursa.
I guess that's the best you're going to do, because you can't fight anymore anyway after Melojule gets caught there, right?
And do they... I mean, Roshan, it's at least 10 seconds away. So I don't know if they get the opening for this. 5 seconds on the first clock, but they are going to get this trap down. So as soon as the big man's back up, Klim Sani4 are going to know about it. It's going to be a little bit of a longer one, not a max time, but 1 minute and 47 seconds on the second clock here.
Decently long. And with the fact that Klim Sani4 are going to show here on the bottom lane, it's a little bit of information for Na'Vi that at the very least the big man's not up yet.
Yeah.
And if I was them, I'd probably try to secure my road towards the top side of the map. Yeah, and see if you can come in through the gate.
Yeah. And it's hard though, right? Because you've got the TA that's going to be putting traps down on the high ground as well. He's going to see the...
That's true. And they've already smoked up and they're trying to cross again now, so...
Okay.
The problem is, of course, this bottom wave knocking on their door. These 2 catapults are going to deal a lot of damage if you don't deal with them, so...
Yeah.
Shigetsu. And then the rest of your team can't really kill anybody without the Ursa. It's your solo core. It is like a puzzle that's missing a piece.
And you can see that. Oh, smoke's going to break onto the side. Side wants the furthest one forward, but it's going to be Maldi that pays the price onto this one. The jump in now as well. He tries to get himself out with the Greaves. Is this going to be enough to keep him alive? The finger comes out into Zayat. It looks like Maldi only just, but Chira, he gets that jump in. Now we'll be able to get the kill. What can they do with the Sunray coming through as well? They've got a damage coming through the Supernova. Shigetsu will be out of range, but he's still going to be going down now. Has that buyback if he needs it. And Nefrit, can he run himself away? You've got the multi-kisses raining down onto this one. Yul Scepter going to be used. Can he keep Nefrit alive? They've got the trap. It's going to be jumped on Chira Jr. once again, but it's in such a small area now. The Ursa does buy back, trying to fight through. He does clean up onto 2. Can they go for any more on this one? Roshan's going to be back up in 13 seconds. This is going to be a big window here from the side of Na'Vi if they can get any more from this one. Hell, just getting those 2 kills. That is a big opening here for Na'Vi.
Yep, it cost him 3 buybacks, but you're going to at the very least be trading that 4 in Aegis on one of theirs that bought back. It's about the best case scenario, I guess, but the way that fight started is just so awkward. And there's really no good way, in fact, for Na'Vi to start fights at this point where they don't lose a hero that they need off the bat.
And they even deal with the trap. Is it Maldi that still has the gem? Yeah, it is Maldi. He's got himself the double gems. So
refresher for the water park, not for Nefrit. He's gonna have to do with that. And yeah, you gotta pedal to the metal, push this right now, this advantage that you have, because you spent a bunch of buybacks. You need to try and force some in return, otherwise you're just going to be on the back foot throughout this Aegis. And you wish you had level 25 on this Ursa right now, but he's just not close enough to wait it out.
yeah, they might be able to get, you're probably not forcing any buybacks out, but they might be able to get a lane of racks from this. Fortification will be used here, maybe not then, as the clock, it ticks down on the respawns. And yeah, so if you forced out these buybacks, I know Shigetsu was one of them, but are you looking to kill off everyone but the Ursa in these fights before you turn onto Shigetsu, or is Shigetsu too big a threat in these fights to be standing?
I mean, the question is if you can get the leash on him or not. When you get the leash, you can leave him for as long as you like. It's just, you just have to have Monkushi sitting on top of him the entire time, which is fine. Okay.
And Monkushi, he did go for the Aviana's Feather. I don't know how I feel about this item. The move speed's nice, the evasion's nice. It's just that the passive on it. Freebird, you know, there's a reason Freebird gets shut down more often than not.
Yeah. They never play the entire solo, do they?
How's Meldule looking? Meldule, yeah, Refresher Shard coming out. He has that Hex, second BKB, like I say, second Water Park, Wave, as well as the Torrents. Boats. He's not level 25 just yet, so there is no fleet. Do you opt for the fleet, or do you think the Tidebringer cooldown's the better option?
You are looking at damage problems. Zaitz is in, and he's gonna stay in a...
The Lotus comes out, yeah, they have the control coming in. Munkushi, do they want to try and chase onto this one? He pops that Eye of the Storm, and Zayat runs himself away. There is going to be the Manta Style, though, trying to dodge off these boats. X marks the spot, will be here. Doesn't affect him, and BKBs from both sides do get popped here. But the Eye of the Storm, this might be a big window here for Na'Vi if they want to fight in. But the Exorcism was already used, so that's a bigger cooldown on this one. So they might just try and play it away even with this Aegis.
You could swap the Refresher Shard out, though, and you have everything on Shigetsu, whereas the Stampede has been used. You have a small window here where Shigetsu can actually hit whoever he wants, but you would have had to commit to that before they jumped back into the base.
Yeah, and
now this Exorcism...
We'll see. Maybe it looks like Meljul is hanging on to that refresher to jump in now as well. The Abyssal, but it's just onto an illusion. The Stomp comes in, and even if he has that Aegis, you don't want to be losing it like this. The finger, they pop it. Are they going to be able to get, do they go again onto this one? Cloud now, there's going to be some protection coming through. Yeah, Shigetsu will be getting himself out of this one, but do they want to chase? Munkushi's coming out of the base. His BKB's still down, so he is going to be hecked up. The right click's coming out for Chira Jr. You don't want to lose Munkushi here. The 4-staff away, but the damage coming out, it's going to be more than enough to take him down. They have the control. Supernova's going to be cleaned up now as well. The buyback comes out from the Razor. Do they have enough backlines? You've got Cloud trying to do what he can. Stampede will be used to slow down here from that mana drain coming through. They might be able to get themselves onto Zayats, if not for the Torrent Storm. Once again, jump in. Cloud, he didn't get the Stomp off. He was silenced up there, wasn't able to get it off. And now Cloud, no Blink Dagger, Meljul in the trees.
Yeah.
He gets himself out. Meanwhile, they'll TP away, and it's going to be everybody. Malady gets himself out here as well. They force out a buyback on 2 heroes in Klim, Sani4. Is this go time for them? Do they need to get something from this? Because they are losing their base.
Yeah, that's Botrax solving itself and miraculously Navi getting out with everybody. I do say that that's absolutely illegal. But that's the biggest win they could have possibly gotten, and that quite literally keeps them in the running here. Because now they have time for their cooldowns to come back up before Klim Sani4 gets to cross all the way over to the Radiant side of the map. We're going to have another Exorcism. We're going to have the boats and the Torrent Storm back up. And the cooldowns of those buybacks on Navi are coming down at that same time. Of course, it is going to be a little bit longer before those come back up, but every single second helps. It's only 3 minutes left for the Ursa.
Yeah, and I'm just taking a look item-wise as well. We've got the Nullifier on Chira Jr. Vlad's out on Malady. He's got the Greaves, so he's going to be able to keep his team sustained. Nefra, AC is there. Shiva's like we've seen. Lotus is coming through as well. Zayats did eventually go for that 4-staff. So he did get it up after the Ghost Scepter. So I know you were messaging him. You know, why are you not buying your 4-staff?
Like, I would not be doing my job if I was messaging him, and he would not be doing his job if he read it.
True. And maybe you've just drilled it into him then. You know, either he should be going for
memories from a long time ago, like the winter of the Russian bear. Do you remember that really cold winter?
Which one?
Oh, it's 4 years ago. It was just a huge cold wave. The Netherlands ran out of salt. That sort of stuff. Oh. And I was locked in a basement in Moscow with a bunch of well, I don't want to say Russians, a bunch of mixed Eastern European players, among which Zayats, which is like the biggest stretch I will give European.
Fair enough. And I mean, if they ran out of salt, did they just not import it from NA Dota?
Yeah, like you think we should got that supply line ready, but
look at this.
Not that time.
Bottom lane, it is just pushing in. It's forcing Munkushi has to TP back into this one before they lose the base. And Navi, it was a bit back and forth, but this feels like they really have a chokehold on the equilibrium of this game now. This bottom lane has been forced in, and the fact that Klim Sani4 weren't able to get this top lane of Rax before they had to back themselves out.
I would much more say that they have a grip now. Like they've got their hands on this game, but a chokehold. Ooh, they're still looking at the problem of solo core versus dual core here, with both the Razor as well as the TA being big damage dealers, whereas over on the side, like Nefrit needs to live a long time in order to deal his damage. Same goes for Meljul. Both of them they can't burst.
Yeah.
And the Ursa is the one that will have to do, well, the carrying. It is what it is.
Yeah, you see that Chira Jr., he's trying to force out the scan, the double Radiant scan. Maybe a little bit of a mistake, though. They wanted that River Protection. It scanned out for a little bit, but that was just the illusion from Munkushi that got picked up here. And yeah, Chira Jr. trying to keep this creep wave pushed in towards the tier 3 tower in the bot lane, because the creep equilibrium, if it's not going your way, you are put under a little bit of pressure here to make sure that your base doesn't get taken down just by creeps.
And it's one of the biggest sources of vision in these later stages of the game as well. Yeah. Heroes showing up on waves is one of the big signals that you use for your goes or your backs.
And now
and letting the wave pass.
Yeah. Chira, do you want to dive into this one? Shivas comes... Excuse me? Yeah, but there was no blink. There was no follow-up. He just popped the Shivas. He's like, signal flare, here we are.
I'm going. I'm not. I'm scared.
And the Centaur.
He's right to be scared.
Yeah, to be fair, Shiva's Eternal Shroud, though, he's, 4.5k health still, even without the heart coming out here.
He's massive.
He's pretty bloody big.
And yet he could get eaten in just a couple of seconds if his initiation goes wrong. Especially, like, we do still have the death prophet.
Zayat, speaking about going wrong, the finger comes out as well with the triple earth spike. Zayat, can he get himself away from this one? The heals come through. Melajul with the BKB. He's already got that Torn Storm coming through. The Hex now as well, and the Templar, Assassin Templar. He wasn't able to get that BKB off. He's going to be taking all of the physical damage. And now, can he actually fight back into this one? He will go down. The refresh comes through. They might be able to get the kill onto Melajul now as well. It's a lot of damage, but they take down Munkushi. So Melajul does survive through this, and this is going to be another buyback, but no buyback for the Razor. And Shigetsu's just cleaning it up through this. Oh,
wow.
This is awful here for the side of Klim Sanic, and they might only have one core, but he is doing work here on the side of Na'Vi.
Yeah, and no good pickoffs for them there, no good flanking opportunities. The entirety of Na'Vi is standing really quite close together and moving from target to target, and that's Klim Sanic's worst nightmare.
And it does feel like the two cores on Klim Sanic, this TA, the Razor, they've dropped off. And Shigetsu, he's got that power spike. He's up there all on his own, and he's doing the work. He is coming through. Well, I can't say all on his own because the utility, the support coming out from Na'Vi, but Shigetsu is the one cleaning up kills now. 12, 2, and 6.
Yeah, as much as I like the early Ursa power spike, the late game Ursa is definitely an entirely different beast still. And this man is just going to clean up their base.
Yeah. And I don't think there's a lot that, with the Razor being down for 60 seconds, there's not a lot that Klim Sanic can do to push this one back. And do they just look for the end? They might just look for the end game here on the side of Na'Vi.
Yeah, this is the best window that you're going to get, I think. And this time they're not about to fumble any of it.
No. And Lotus Orb, you can see the Zayat's trying to jump in. Chira Jr. not going to be affected though. And buyback comes out from the Centaur. They might try and back themselves away, but it might be a fake back here as well. Just trying to force some spells out, some aggression out from the side of Klim Sanic. But this does buy time for Razor to come back alive.
It does, and that puts them down Megas, but still in the game.
Yeah.
With the amount of vision that the Megas are going to give in the base, though, I'm not sure if Klim Sanic pushes out these waves fast enough to ever properly get to be in the dark. And with the potential of a toss back, for example, or the potential of an X pick-off, that is a lot of threat.
Yeah, and
so much vision is given.
With Roche, 23 seconds up on Roche. This might be do or die time here for Klim Sanic, that they need to steal this Aegis. They need to take a good fight. And if you're Na'Vi, you don't even move into the pit, right? You wait this out again.
Yeah, Zayat is I think he's gonna marry this tree, which his wife's gonna be very disappointed about. He's been around there an awful lot.
Shivas doesn't connect again. No jump in from Cloud Torrent though. Gets used on the back line.
This was the moment before the first wave of Megas came in.
Yeah.
And Klim Sanic had to pull the trigger there, because now the Megas are in your base. And now it feels extra desperate. Na'Vi knows. They just wait. Just sit here.
Yeah. And
you're on the clock.
They TP back. They're going to give a bro shot.
Yeah, blinked. They blinked 15 seconds ago.
Yeah. The Nullify fire coming out for Templar Assassin. I don't know if I would have preferred the Scepter. Because it's a Scepter, right, where you can jump to the traps. So yeah, you can teleport to the silent traps, where he might have been able to go back, clear off the creeps into the base, and then come back into the fight, join the fight. But as it stands, Na'Vi, I think that was less than 10 seconds on the Roshan take, so I don't even know if that would have mattered.
I don't think so, and he's had that nullifier in his pocket for a while already.
Yeah.
Like at the time where he bought that, split pushing was absolutely not a concern yet.
So yeah, Shigetsu has another Aegis, 4.5 minutes here. Net worth wise, he is 3k above the next nearest, which is going to be the TA. And yeah, you can definitely feel that the TA and the Razor impact has dropped off compared to just the Ursa.
Which is kind of odd. I really thought that especially the Razor would be doing better at this point in the game, but it's really... I guess it is really a Razor's tasked to be far ahead of the competition because he farms so fast, and if he isn't, it's not as impressive as you'd want it to be.
This is a big wraparound smoke coming here from the side of Na'Vi. Creep Wave is pushing in, maybe just looking to see who clears this, and they're going to be able to jump on top of them. Zayat's for this one forward. But you can see that Klim Sani4, they're just waiting underneath the tier 4. Maybe not. It's going to be jumping in from Cloud, but is he going to be the bait? No, he's going to be way too squishy here. 4.5k and he's squishy. BKB gets popped here now as well. Cloud, he has to pop that Stampede.
Stampede for the Boat Storm and for the Exorcism.
Yeah, but the Exorcism, it's only about halfway through. If he steps forward, this could be the last tier 4 going down. Cookie, and Munkushi tried to dodge it off here with the Manta style, but can he come forward anymore onto this one? The slowdown onto the Razor. The Razor has that refresher now as well. BKB comes out. It might not even matter. He does get himself, he gets himself dead is what he gets himself. Now he has that buyback, and they're looking to fight this one out. And even Respect having to buy back into this one. She gets who on the front line, gets that Cookie away, so he's going to be able to break the static link now as well. Munkushi trying to do his best with the double, with the ultimate coming out after that refresh, but it looks like they're going to be able to collapse this tier 4 tower chase onto Meljul. Can't chase him too far. You don't want to get out of position if you are Munkushi. Backline dive.
Back.
Yeah, toss onto Cloud. Cloud, who's just, he tried to get that stomp off. He might be able to get the kill onto Zayas, but this might not even matter here. There's going to be the Phoenix going down. Zayas will fall, but you've got the rest of Na'Vi just going on to the Ancient, and they're saying, you have to stop us. You have to fight us away from this big objective, and we're just going to carry on going here now. They get the lockdown onto the Ursa, but the Ursa has that Aegis once again. 2.5 minutes, going to get the refresh, and you can see that Cloud, he's trying to fight his way through, uses that Stampede, tries to get onto Maldi. Maldi, the Cookie, it might be enough. You do get the kill onto the Snapfire here. Still the creeps, they push into the base. Do you have the control coming through onto the Ursa? Shiva's comes through, and it looks like she gets through, and it's still not going to be Meljul right-clicking down onto the Ancient. Do they have enough to get the kill onto this one? Nefrit trying to do what he can. He doesn't have that Eclipse. The Ancient is going to go down, surely. Yeah, all 3 cores. They split the distance, and in the end, Klim Sani4 can't hold on to it. It will be Na'Vi taking game number 2 in nearly an hour's time.
That was a slog.
Yeah.
And I think the way that that Ancient goes down at the end there is very illustrative for how Na'Vi has had to win this.